Hello, my bros. It's 12:11 a.m. I should be sleeping by now, but I just was talking to myself, right? I was just thinking about a lot of shit, about a lot of things, and it's just very interesting on what I have to say. I'm not gonna put my camera because the day is dark right now on my room, and I don't wanna have more sunlight. Sorry, I just don't want to have more light. I have blue light blocking glasses. I was just talking about some crazy situation. I was looking this video, like I was looking at this guy, Oscar Patel, and bro, like I was literally just it just appeared to me, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And the more I got through it, the more things just got to my brain. It got to the point where where I was about, I'm literally talking about or thinking about the decisions that I have made in the last months and how have they served me. And that's true. And I don't want to talk about in depth of this guy right now because you know, after seeing the content he's do, the thing after seeing him, I think he's great. He's 19 and he's just great, man. I haven't even subscribed. He's great. I'm just gonna subscribe to his channel. He's great, right? That's the opinion that I have on him. He's great. But there's a lot of things that I could talk about this because there's just so much interesting things that I just realized watching this guy that I know seem a little bit like cringy, but they're not. Like what is even the definition of cringy? Because a lot of people use this word and I don't even know what the fuck is it. Cringe meaning. Bend one's head and no. Have an awkward feeling of acute embarrassment or awkwardness. Well, yeah, it's kind of awkward. So yeah, what I was gonna say. But it may sound cringy, but it's just the truth. And I don't want to be like talking in depth about this because I will be talking like 2 hours and not sleep enough. But what I was talking about was some very interesting interaction. Basically, what I was thinking about was the decision that I took some months ago, which was basically to get out of the school that I was in. I was into because I was already like with this mindset that oh my god, fuck school, right? So fuck school, it doesn't serve me well. I really want to do some different shit, which um I don't have a specific goal. For example, this guy's a great example for this because he has the goal, at least from the limited knowledge that I have acquired from him, watching his channel and his stuff. He has the goal, or he wants to help people have a better health, right? Have better health. As you can see, if you go to his channel, that's basically it. I improve people's looks by fixing their health. So basically, he wants to improve the health of people, improve the looks of people, because he has gone through that experience. And he basically is like, okay, I have gone through this experience. Hopefully, this is helpful for you. And that's it. So, yeah, in that case, he has a very specific thing, right? And that's like a difference between him and me. And I know that comparison is not a good thing, but I could argue. A lot of people say comparison is not a good thing. But I agree and disagree in some things. I agree because at the end of the day, you're comparing your to a completely different person, right? Different situations, different backgrounds, one whatever. But I also disagree because you're literally comparing to some other human being, right? Even if you have all those differences, like they're still relatively the same. And the reason why I disagree on that argument is is because like you can look at someone else and be like, okay, this is possible. That's basically how I summarize it. You can look at someone else and be like, okay, if he can do it, why not me, right? And you can basically level up your standards. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Level up your standards. So yeah, obviously you need to be very smart about comparison because obviously it can be it's basically a double-edged sword. Um, but yeah, what I was saying, for example, in that case, basically what I was thinking about was why I haven't actually done anything relevant or something important in the last months, in the last year, in the last 2 years. Because in the last 2 years, I have realized by consuming other people content, um, that is possible, right? Because for example, this guy is 19 years old and he's doing a lot of things. Like he's doing things like it's not that he's having financial freedom or all these materialistic things. It's simply the fact that he's actually achieving what he wants, right? He's actually working towards his goals, and just by that fact, obviously, like the financial freedom and the health and the relationships and all that comes secondary. But the primary thing that I see on these guys, on these young guys that are achieving great things, is simply the fact that they are actually working towards their goals, which now, which most people aren't doing. They're just not doing it, and that's very inspiring, right? Obviously, but yeah, what I was basically thinking about was how I haven't achieved something that I want to do because I already know more or less what I want to do. Um, I don't know, I don't know it exactly as him, because he already knows. Like, okay, I want to improve the health of people, and I'm gonna do it through social media, through the school community, and all that. I'm not that exact. I don't really know what to do. I just have kind of an idea of of you know what? Now that I think about it, I have kind of an idea, but on the sorry, I was just checking if this was recording. I have kind of an idea on the outcome side, which is obviously to have financial freedom, to have health, to have location freedom, time freedom. Like those big three are three freedoms. Have freedom, which are those three big ones, and then obviously have health and be working towards a purpose. But that's not a practical, like that's all I have right now. And that's a big reason of why. I'm just thinking about it right now. That's a big reason why I haven't really done something, right? Because I know, like for example, you have had the same purpose as this guy. I know I will beat the shit out of him. Nah, I'm just kidding. Like we're different guys, right? Obviously, he has something different to um provide to the world than me. But if we were on the same path, sorry, if we were on the same path, like wanting to improve the health, obviously, like I do think I'll be doing better than him, and that's just the competitive spirit that I have, and like that's like this spirit, the mindset I realized 2 years ago that it's like it's possible, right? That's why I have that mindset. But at the end of the day, I don't have that objective. So that's just hypothetical what I just said. Let's come back to reality and actually come back to reality because I don't have any purpose. That's why I haven't done shit. Um, so even if I have realized a long time ago that I like that it's possible that anything you want like actually is possible, right? In today's in today's day and age of the internet is even more possible. It doesn't matter. Like I don't have the clear path. And if you don't have the clear path, like if you don't know where to go, you aren't gonna get there. So that's a problem that I have been realizing right now, and that's basically as summarized as possible the thing that I was thinking about, and how it correlates to a big decision that I took some months ago, which was about school, because school is really a big part of this. Like school takes 8 hours, at least in my country, at least in the school that I am right now, 8 hours of your day, and that's a big amount of time. So to give context, basically, I don't know, I'm just gonna talk and like to give context. I was basically, mm, like I was just having this mindset of, man, I don't need school, or I just don't longer want to be on this educational system with this traditional one, because I already have seen enough and it's just not serving me. Like I just want to do different shit, different stuff, and that's basically the mindset that I had around that. And then I need to take a decision. Now at the end of the day, um, obviously I have the typical parents that want me to stay in school and whatever because they were basically programmed. I mean, program sounds so bad, but basically were the environment is in which they were in, um, prioritize, school, because obviously, right, it was a different time back then in the day. So yeah, I have the typical parents that want me to go to school, stay in school, um, and it's basically last year of high school. I'm about to enter last year high school. That was like 6 months ago. I don't know, and I was like, man, I'm done. And we had a little discussion. I had a little discussion with my parents because they were like, man, why didn't you told us about that before? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, but I didn't. Sorry, I just didn't. And I swear to God, I just want so badly to get out from here, from this environment. Because at the end of the day, those like that time when I realized that I could do a lot of shit really distanced me socially a lot. Because I realized that the people that was hanging out with wasn't thinking the same way that I was thinking about, and that just changes everything. And but I think I went too extreme because I wasn't even talking to anyone. So you know, um, I think I went too extreme because I wasn't even talking to anyone. I wasn't. I was just viewing it purely in a very like linear mindset of, man, these guys aren't thinking the same way I'm thinking about, or they're not gonna achieve the same thing, so I'm not gonna even talk to them. And now that I think about it, that was a very dumb thing to do because at the end of the day, everyone's different, right? Everyone's got different objectives. And now I look back at that and I'm like not very um, proud of that, but that's still happening sometimes today. And I just distanced myself, right? And since I hadn't, basically, long story short, yeah, even if I realized that, as I previously said, since I didn't had a clear path and I didn't put the path, I was just endlessly consuming this type of motivational content or this type of content where other people are achieving things. And I'm like, oh, damn, it's possible. But that doesn't mean anything, right? One thing is realize, one step is realizing, the next step you need to take is actually do something about it. And I was seriously didn't, I wasn't doing anything, right? So, whatever. Um, yeah, I was just, man, I want to get out of here. And that's just what happens, right? That's just what happened. And they were like, my parents were like, okay, you have this other option, um, um, which is a school that prioritizes, entrepreneurship and all that. Basically, something that is definitely, now that I look back into it, is definitely more aligned, or at least back then when I was like looking into it, it's definitely more aligned. A school that is more aligned with my vision of entrepreneurship and more freedom and whatever than with the school that I was, um, previously in. And obviously it was a it was not an easy decision to take, because I was like also with this other completely different decision, which was literally just going like the last year of high school online. And literally the online part was like the online way to go was literally just 2 hours a day. And like that, I was basically um I literally wanted, like I seriously wanted deep down inside of me to to get into that one, because I was just starting to do some shit. And I was like, man, basically my thought process was, man, the reason why I want to get out of here, I think, I mean, it's the last year. Why not start doing something now, instead of going through all these years, which I already know what's gonna happen, whatever, and I'm not gonna like it that much, and just take back those 8 hours, which are really, like, if you compound them on a complete semester or a complete year of high school, that's an incredible amount of time. And now you definitely want to get that time back and put it into something, right, much more aligned with what I want. That was basically my thought process. And obviously my family, they didn't want that. And I understand it, right? They have grown up in a very different environment and whatever. And at the end of the day, they convinced me, right? So basically what I was doing was just thinking about, man, was this really the best decision? At the end of the day, um, I had to put the decision in. They just convinced me, and I just went to the decision that they wanted. And that's what basically what I'm thinking about. Was it really the best decision? And I'm just looking back, because I'm on this new school, um, since 6 months ago that I entered, and I'm just starting to question absolutely everything, because um, I'm realizing that it may not have been the best decision, but also I'm realizing that I might I might just be giving up on a lot of things. So I'm gonna basically go around it. Um, Basically, for example, I'm just gonna tell. I mean, there's a lot of points that I want to talk about. Um, but the primary one, I think, or one of the primary ones, because there's a lot of them, is that quote. It's just not even a quote. It's just reality. I have just realized that with this experience of entering this new school, is that the five people that you hang out the most with is really who you are. Like, that's really who you are. That's who you become. Like, because you are influenced by them, right? And before this experience, I knew about it, right? I was like, yeah, it makes sense and it's true. But with this experience, it just got absolutely reinforced, and absolutely, yeah, just reinforced the fact that it's true. Because I have really changed a lot, and the primary reason, I think, is just that I have started to hang out with these people, and I don't consider them as friends, right? They're not, and I'm not gonna go into the details of what I consider a friendship and not, but I just don't consider them as friends. They're not, like, the only thing that I do with them in reality, looking back to it, is just do high school shit, like the typical high school bullshit that you do, that is funny, and it's funny. Like, I'm not neglecting that. It's real fun, right? But still, like just because we're doing some bullshit, uh, like some jokes, or just having fun all day, doesn't mean that you're my friend. Like, there's more to that. Like, for a friendship, I think there's more to that. There's more than just that. And now realizing it, and now thinking about it, I think the only friend, I just have one real friend there. Um, yeah, I just have one, and I don't even talk. Like, literally, it's crazy, right? And the best way to prove my point that of friendship, or my the way I see it currently is that with these guys, which it's actually pretty crazy. Like the quote says the five people, and literally the people who I hang out the most with are five people. It's not like just one, like literally five people. So it's a group of five people. I hang out most, as I said, is the people the group, the people who I hang out the most with, and they're not even my friends. And the one that I consider my friend, or at least most likely to be my friend, I don't even hang out with him as much. But from the, in these cases, the reason why I say this is more about the quality than the quantity. The quality of the interactions that I have had with this friend that is most likely to be my friend have, in my opinion, been more um, of better quality than just the other ones, which have been more quantity. And yeah, that's the thing. And I'm just thinking back, like for example, today, um, I'm gonna, I have this website. I had it right now. I have, I just, I mean, I put myself the goal of basically going to this website and practicing my speed of, as you can hear, typing. So yeah, basically, I just had this objective of typing faster with the 9 fingers, because before putting this objective, I just typed with 2 fingers and very slowly, and I basically just wanted to become more productive of just using the computer and the keyboard. So I put this objective of every day doing 30 minutes, as it says right here, 30 minutes. I was just doing it like 30 minutes ago, and what I was gonna say, yeah. And for example, I'm with these guys, which are not my friends. I just have got to that conclusion basically, and I don't give a fuck. Um, for example, today it's funny. I was with one of them, and I was like, he was telling me, "Man, are you my friend? Are you my best friend?" And I was like, "No, you're not." And he was just like, "Hey, what the fuck do you mean you're my best friend?" He was just like pushing me and just pushing me, right? Like telling me, "What the fuck? Like, why aren't you my best friend?" And I'm like, "I don't have a best friend right now. Like, you are not my best friend, okay?" And a lot of these people are emotional about it. And that's the thing when you hang out with people that are really not thinking the same way as you think. They're just in they just think very differently from you. And that's a that's a hard pill to swallow, because at the end of the day you hang out with them every day, and it just literally influences you to be more like them even if you don't want to. In some aspects, obviously, yeah, it's very funny, whatever. So in the fun part, yeah, whatever. But in the other parts of life, I don't want to be like them, right? And I'm not saying that they're like the full villain. They're not bad people. I'm just not in that like they're not bad people at all. I think they're good people and whatever. But I don't fuck with that. Okay, I don't fuck with that, with their mindset or with their energy and all that. And I have, and maybe, I have questioned it myself. Well, you can actually maybe tell them to become better. I was gonna say change their mindset. And yeah, it's kind of changed their mindset, but it's at the end of the day change their mindset for the better. Like I was literally telling one friend, which just had a broke up with his girl, with his girlfriend. I was telling him, man, I mean, I don't, I'm not very good with girls too. Because anyway, I don't really have that focus right now of girls, so I'm not gonna give him some bullshit advice. But I just told him, man, all I can tell you, and hopefully this helps you, is that you need to. I really recommend you to just focus on yourself, on every aspect of your life. Obviously, health and all that. Because he's really unhealthy, man. He literally has diabetes, and that's crazy. It's 19. He's 19 years old. He's already has diabetes. I don't know if that was a joke from him, but he told me he was diabetes, and he told me very seriously. So I suppose he has diabetes, and from his diet, I have looked into it. It's pure processed bullshit. So I suppose he has diabetes. But I basically told him, man, get into the gym if you want. Get into my gym. I help you work out and whatever. And he just doesn't want it. Like, I just know for a fact. It's just very easy to know when someone is just not fucking paying you attention. And because literally, well, every time I I have been telling him, I have been telling him this a lot. Man, go to the gym. At least try it at all. And he's just fucking watching Instagram reels, not even paying attention to me and telling me, I know, like just pure excuses. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. The typical bullshit excuses that everyone does. Um, and yeah, that's just a great example. Like, I don't, like, I have actually tried at least with one that I'm more comfortable with, and telling them like, man, I recommend you this, I recommend you that, and they just don't want to. Like, they just don't want even to listen to me. Because if they actually wanted to listen to me, they will fucking like stop watching their bullshit, shitty reels videos and looking me to AI into the eye. But they haven't done that. So that's a great example, right? Now, obviously, it doesn't mean that like they may. I mean, I don't know how they're in their home, right? They in their home, maybe they arrive home and they are actually like, damn, I'm actually gonna do this. So I'm not with them all day, so I don't know. But like the most likely scenario is that they just don't give a fuck because it's just very obvious whenever they have that kind of behavior. But yeah, basically, that was one thing. I forgot what I was gonna say. But I have another situation. This happened today, where I literally got into this website, and as I said, I have this objective and all that, and and it's not like that. It was the first time that this guy, because this is another guy from that five people group, person group. The first time they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Man, I'm just trying to improve my typing efficiency, doing 30 minutes a day, whatever." And they're like, "Oh, okay, whatever." I don't even remember the reaction, but they said some bullshit. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, and the crazy thing, I don't know if they actually do it in joke form or whatever, but I don't think it's joke form because they say it very seriously, and they say it every time I fucking enter this website. Always, what I do is always the first hour of school, I just get this done because I had an objective and I actually want to achieve it, right? And I have actually made great progress. I went from like 40 WPM, which is words per minute, to like 80 um, in just a couple of months, like in less than 2 months, in less than 1 month of just doing it daily, 30 minutes daily. So great. This is actually helping me a lot to be more productive. And basically, that happened today. That happened today. I think it was yes. No, it was today, or I think it was yesterday. It doesn't matter. It was basically very recently. I opened the website, and this guy that basically is literally the guy where I sit with all day on the classroom. He told me, again with that bullshit, motherfucker. I mean, I'm in Mexico right now, so it's very common for people to say bad words. But that was literally the exact translation. Like, I just opened the website, he saw me, he was viewing his phone, and he saw me and was like, again with that website, with that bullshit, bro, or motherfucker, something like that. Um, Obviously, like, since it's so ingrained for him Mexicans to talk that way, and also me too. I don't mean the bad words are not the problem. It's just the way, like, he's just saying it. I mean, I might think this is a joke because at the end of the day, he always says that. So that was not the effect, like the part that actually, in which I was like, man, this motherfucker. The part where I was like, man, seriously, was like, man, these guys basically, just to give context, these guys all day on fucking TikTok. So that's a red flag, pretty big red flag. And I always try to question myself. Hey, okay, I mean, maybe he's doing this because I have been seeing a lot of drop shipping guys that basically do this technique of finding a product by going through TikTok and being like there for 4 or 3 hours, trying to like scroll every product and whatever. But this guy is not doing that. He doesn't have a fucking business. He doesn't have anything like all. I mean, I think that I actually um admire from this guy is that he goes a lot to the gym, but in the other aspects, like he's not like at least for this specific scenario, like literally he's the only thing he's doing on TikTok is consuming. He's not even creating content, so he's just consuming endlessly all day, literally from the day he arrives to the classroom to the day he gets out. He's just fucking TikTok all day through classes. Like it's crazy, and he basically told me again with that shit, motherfucker. And it's crazy to me because he's literally telling me to me that I'm trying to be more productive in something. Like a guy who is in the most unproductive activity that you can do, which is endlessly consuming TikTok, is telling me what to do. Like he literally told me, like with that shit, like do something else. And at that point, I mean, I obviously didn't stop because I was obviously in my mind thinking, what is this dumbest to tell me about? At that point, I was really like, man, this motherfucker. Because he's just ironic that a guy that is literally endlessly consuming TikTok, he's not even using it correctly, is telling me what to do. Like, just make. I didn't even got angry. I was just like surprised. It was just so surprising. It may be a joke, but I don't think so because this has happened a lot of times. And the reason why I'm talking about all these things is just because I'm questioning myself. Was this really a good decision that I took? And overall, I think it was not. Right? I think it would have been much. I would be in a much better position right now. Um, if I had gone through the online school than what I'm currently in. But that already happened. I already made a decision 6 months ago, and I'm about to finish school. So this is literally my last year of high school, and literally I'm about to end this thing. So I just have a couple of months of of school in this and here, and it's like I'm just thinking, man, okay, just try to try to get the most out of this, cause yeah, I mean, there's some like downsides, and at the end of the day, the downsides are higher because at the end of the day, you have gone to the conclusion that it would have been much better to go through the online school. But at the end of the day, you already made the decision, right? You just need to learn from the experiences, because not everything is bad. I'm not saying everything is bad, but there's definitely some downsides from the decision that I took. And I'm just thinking, man, I just have a couple of months, like just try to get the most out of them, right? And I was just thinking, man, like not everyone is like just I was just thinking that I need to change a lot of my mindset because it's not like everyone is just absolutely a loser because they don't think the same way as you. Like that's the most like like bullshit mindset you can have, and I'm realizing I'm realizing that because like there's everyone has their own thing. Even the guy who I was like, I will not like to be my friend, and is the ironically the guys who I hang out the most with, they have some interesting shit, right? All of them, even if they are not people who I will put hang out the most with, it's still interesting to talk with them, right? To everyone, like there's for example this other guy, which is basically like, oh my god, man, this guy's literally he basically behaves like a fucking guy. He literally behaves like a child even worse than an elementary school child. He has his group of friends who are always shouting and always doing some strange noise, always farting all over the place. It's disgusting, man. But I think that that's the downside from him. But I think that I'm like, man, this guy's really good at. Is he's very funny. Like he's a typical funny guy who just doesn't care. Like he can do whatever he fucking wants. Like he doesn't care. Um, on whatever he does, right? And for example, he wants to be a streamer, and I think his personality, at least from what I have seen him on the classroom, obviously, um, a lot of times he's very stressful, right? He stresses a lot, the shit out of me a lot of times. Well, no, it's not even stressful; it's just funny to me. For other people, this is really stressful, and obviously, you cannot concentrate on the environment. It's just really difficult to concentrate in that environment with that guy. But an upside that I see on him is like, man, like this guy could really be a big streamer because he has the personality, and I can just see it, right? The way he talks, he's very funny. He doesn't give a fuck. Like he could be a great streamer, and that's just a great example that of the thing that I'm saying, in which, man, like you can talk with anyone, and you can have interesting conversations and all that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of the thing that I previously said. That I just have a couple of months in which it's gonna end, and why not make the most out of it, right? Instead of just um, basically being closed inside my own world, just talk with people and and that's it. Because for example, that's another thing, which is a downside from hanging out with people that all they want to do is have fun and all that. Is that I have these things that I want to do, these projects that I'm working towards, and it's just much more difficult to to get these things done when you have five people who are literally influencing you every fucking second of the 8 hours in school to not make to not be on the computer doing their projects, to just go and hang out, right? And it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And that's one of the things because I have really become very complacent. Like yesterday was a perfect example because I literally have in my calendar right now 4 hours of during school of doing some projects, working towards some projects and whatever. And yesterday, this has literally started to become a habit from like some weeks ago. I haven't done any of the things that are on the calendar during school. Any. The only thing that I have been doing is this of like um practicing this, but the other things I haven't done any. And I just the reason is, or at least not even a reason. I think it's an excuse. It's just, oh, there's too much distraction and whatever. I mean, yeah, there's too much distraction, and obviously, the probabilities of you actually getting shit done on that environment compared to being on your home alone and just focusing is much more less high because you're just very distracted. But that doesn't mean you're gonna give up. So that's another thing that I was thinking about. Man, are you really gonna give up? Um, like, are you really gonna give up just by that excuse? And it really is an excuse, man. And I don't know, this experience at the end of the day, I'm not saying I regret it, because at the end of the day, I'm learning a lot. As I previously said, I'm learning about the real impact that people have in your life, and basically, I'm just learning the the a very valuable lesson, one of the most valuable lessons that anyone can learn, which is basically who you hang out with is just very important, right? Because this is literally the case. Like I have seen myself the transformation that I have had on school. First day of school, I was actually working towards these projects, and I was just alone on a cubicle for 2 hours, focusing on them, on the projects, getting on school at 6 a.m., from 6 to 8 a.m., working towards these and whatever, and literally comparing that, and then obviously doing class and whatever, and comparing that to yesterday, not to today, not yesterday, because yesterday was 11th of March, which was literally doing nothing. And literally, I even thought about it. I was thinking about it, man. I need to do these projects, and then another thought came, and was like, nah, do it in another time, because it's just gonna be very difficult to concentrate and whatever. Like literally being complacent is just pure excuses. Cause yeah, it's not false what I said. It's very difficult to concentrate and whatever, but that's not an excuse. You can still achieve, like you can bring some headphones, put some music, and boom. And at the end of the day, I don't regret it. Like I don't regret having this decision, because at the end of the day, as I said, I'm really learning a lot. I'm really learning about the importance of the people you hang out with, right? And you know, I might see it like I have two options here. I can see it as a regret and just being regretting everything. Oh, why I did this? Oh, why I'm hanging out with these guys? Or simply be like, okay, this just happened, and just learn from it, and just don't make that mistake again, right? Because at the end of the day, I might have, by the decision that I made 6 months ago, and all the things that I have done the last 6 months, I really do believe I have been um getting, instead of progressing, not progressing, like getting backwards, going backwards on the things that I want to achieve. But I'm not gonna be regretting, because regret is a real thing, man. Like I think I'm just learning from it, and I might be even thankful of this, because imagine if this will be happening to me when I'm 30 years old, and where life is more serious, right? Because right now I'm like 17 years old. I don't have any kids. Like, I really don't have big responsibilities. But what if this strikes me when I have the big responsibilities? The consequences will be much more higher. So I think it's much better that I'm learning right now about this stuff and actually experiencing it. Because one thing is just learning about it, because as I said previously, I already knew about the hanging out with the people that you hang out the most with is basically who you are. I knew about it, but actually experiencing it is very different. You're just like, it's just very different. So yeah, I was just thinking about that, and I think it was very interesting to just record this, because I just want to record this. I just want to put it out there, and maybe someone might be watching this and be like, hey, I also have this problem, and maybe helpful for him to just be like, or tell him to learn from the experience, and try to not make the same mistake again. Like, you know, and analyze what has been happening. Analyze it, question it. Like, has this been the best thing? Get to a conclusion, and after that, take action. Right. Um, in this case, it's just, I mean, there's a couple of months that and I'm out from here, and I'm just gonna get the most out of them, um, and just be more cautious, which about a lot of things. And obviously, I have learned a lot about the importance of who you hang out with, and the how you really need to be strong mentally, and despite the circumstances, like just go for it and win. And obviously it's easier said than done, because at the end of the day I'm saying this, but I haven't done it. But yeah, it's a tricky thing, because a lot of people say it as a regret, and maybe 2 years ago I will have seen it as a regret if I haven't really developed mentally. But right now I see it's just like, man, it already happened. Let's just learn from this, and become better, right? So yeah, I just wanted to record this. It's also very interesting, because maybe me 5 years from now will is gonna hear from about this, and it's gonna be like, wow, the incredible um growth that I have got, right? That I have had. So yeah, man, and or maybe basically the reason why I'm recording all this shit, maybe at least one people person can benefit from this in some way, or I can simply remind myself of, someday just watching this and be like reminded of the thing that I really want to do. So yeah. Oh my god, my voice is. Oh my god, I just want to sleep. It's already 1 a.m. It's about to be 1 a.m. and I just want to sleep. Um, yeah, that was it.